Welcome back to Sportsbook Review Videos. The NBA playoffs are set, and before I release some of my game and prop betting picks, I'm here to give you some of the best underdog series price odds here from the sportsbooks, all of which coming from the Eastern Conference. And we'll start it off with the Boston Celtics as a plus 130 underdog against the Atlanta Hawks at minus 150. My eyes, this is the best underdog bet you can make on any series price here in this one. The Boston Celtics are as good, if not better, than the Atlanta Hawks. They match up very well against them, and I think they have enough talent to take them down. They're a little bit deeper than Atlanta. I think that's going to play well into the playoffs here in this one. And if they can steal one in Atlanta, I think the Hawks are going to have a very hard time coming back into this one. There also could be a very good 5.5 point underdog here in the first game of the NBA playoffs. Another one I really like, similar odds to this one, is the Charlotte Hornets at plus 140 over the Miami Heat at minus 160. Without Chris Bosh, the Miami Heat are a completely different team. They're shallower than the Charlotte Hornets, who likely could have the best player on the floor in this one in Kemba Walker. Dwayne Wade, obviously a shell of his former self, and Kemba Walker has been having an outstanding season. If he's the best player on the floor and they can steal one in Miami, they are one of the best home defensive teams in the entire league. I think the Charlotte Hornets could also have a very good chance of moving on here to the second round at plus 140. I think they have pretty good odds to do so as well. Now, next up is the Indiana Pacers at 3-1 over the Toronto Raptors. I think another one that you could take a one-unit flyer bet on. Very possible that if Paul George ends up being the best player on the floor, Jan Mahimi, Miles Turner come to play against those Toronto big men, I think we could have a series on our hands here. Toronto has traditionally underperformed a little bit in the playoffs, and even though Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, both very, very capable of carrying this team into the second round, the Indiana Pacers, I think, are undervalued here in this one at 3-1. I think they should be around more plus 250, plus 260 in this one. I think they have a very good chance of beating this team in 7 games. Maybe a one-unit flyer bet on them at 3-1 possibly could have some value. Now, finally, the Detroit Pistons are 8-1 to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'll start off by saying that I do not think the Detroit Pistons are going to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, but at their price at 8-1, once again, maybe not a bad idea for a one-unit flyer bet here. This team is dangerous. They match up well with the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James is obviously going to get his, but the Detroit Pistons are actually a very good team. They are very balanced. They can get scoring from a lot of different places. They are actually a very good defensive team, especially with their guards. I think they're going to slow down Kyrie Irving. If Tobias Harris and Marcus Morris can slow down Kevin Love and LeBron James, they could have a series on their hands. I think Detroit has the ability to win at least 1 or 2 games, and in that case, really it comes down to whether or not the Cavs can stay healthy in this one. We saw them fall apart in the NBA Finals last year with health, so things are not as clear-cut for the Cleveland Cavaliers as the odds suggest. The Detroit Pistons at 8-1, maybe a one-unit flyer bet to get 8-1 on them. Not a bad play here in the first round. Maybe not one I'm recommending, but not bad one if you're thinking the same way I am. That'll do it for me this time. I think the Western Conference, probably lots of chalk going to win over there in that one, but remains to be seen over there. We could see some first-round upsets. A lot of people tend to think that the Blazers have a chance to beat the Clippers. I'm not in that camp, but take a look at all the series odds from Bovada Sportsbook here that I've given you here in this video, and until next time, for Sportsbook Review, I'm Jordan Sharp.